former season ticket holder as long as the new stadium has been there. We let our tickets go right at COVID. So the ownership,
can I stop you?
Partially due to this thing.
Can I stop you right there? Did you not renew because of COVID?
No.
Okay. All right, go ahead.
No, we didn't because the 2 seats were $10,000.
Okay.
And we couldn't give away games when we couldn't make them, and so not that we were trying to make a bunch of money, but we want to take a loss for our seats, and they were boring then, and
right.
And, they're boring now, and some of it was I think when they let Bochy go, it was a real big change that I think many of us just did not want that to happen, and since then the ownership. I was checking into this recently. The Johnson ownership, was I think they took full control in 21.
Yeah,
and you look around, and obviously, the guy's political, background is a bit of an issue here in the Bay Area.
True.
And beyond that, I think that when you look at the general manager that didn't get fired in the off season, I thought he had to go too. In fact, I thought he had to go before the manager did. So. But on another subject, quickly, their marketing of baseball in all of the U.S. is horrible. When's the last time you've seen a commercial talking about the game? I mean, you see football, you see basketball. It's just it's a paltry deal. What is
right? Yeah, they're losing that. Yeah.
They're losing it big time, and their young kids. Pacific where I live, and it's big here. Baseball's always been huge, but. Where other towns, I don't know. Is it big? It's sad. Anyway, thank you.
No, thank you, Rick. Appreciate the call,
man.
A lot of stuff there. Here's the other thing I was thinking about. We're talking about the Giants and how and why they've lost their connection to the fans. It feels like there's apathy surrounding the San Francisco Giants. It's taken a while to get here, but I'm asking Giants fans. You tell me what happened. Tell me what happened over the last 6 or 8 years. I can tell you what I've noticed. Here's the one thing I was thinking today. If you put the 3 teams' general managers, John Lynch, what's he been here, 7 years?
Mm-hmm.
Think about the connection that John Lynch has made to the Bay Area. All right, Bob Myers was here 10 years. He was here a little longer. But think about the connection Bob Myers made with the Bay Area.
Lord of the Rings.
And now think of Farhan Zaidi, who's in his 6th year. He was hired in 2018. And I was telling the boss, I don't know anything about the guy. I don't know anything about Farhan Zaidi. I don't see him a lot. He's not out front.
But we were told he was the smartest man in the room, and I'm not hating on him for that, but this is why I got to say something, Steiny, to you and Evan and the listeners. So you cared so much about my outing last night. I came in. You asked, really, how was it, Goo?
Yeah.
And I didn't come in here knowing I was going to say this, but I'm going to share it with you all. Last night, there was a juncture in the ceremony where Farhan was introduced, and I need you to honestly tell me if I'm wrong, Goo, that's fair, or you're just calling it like you saw it. Steiny, they announced him. There was no, people barely clapped.
Were they clapping for others?
Yes. Yes. They were clapping for, you could hear a pin drop, and it was just something, and now we're having this discussion. I'm like, that means that lack of connection that you speak of, Steiny, in a room full of
great point.
Greats. There was, and I was just like, no, had that been Myers or Lynch, there would have been more of I was like, whoa.
Well, in fairness, he hasn't won yet. That the not winning is clearly
but
a part
the confidence
of it.
is,
Right.
I think,
you're right,
waning. And the fact that he fired a coach when I feel like he should have went with him, that was a turnoff. But you want to talk about, that caller brought up Bochy. Since you let him go, he's won a World Series. Think about that, partner.
Yep.
Since you said, for whatever reason, and we weren't born yesterday, that Bochy was not good enough, that guy took a year off and has since won a World Series, and you haven't made the playoffs but 1 year.
It's I hear you. Filmo Mike.
Mike.
This if the description of what Filmo says is accurate, this is going to be interesting. What's up, Phil Mo?
Oh yeah, I think a little bit of one of the reasons. Well, first of all, San Francisco Giants is known for stars, like star players. Some of the greatest players that have ever played the game of baseball: Bonds, Willie Mays, the pitchers, Lincecum, whoever.
Cepeda.
So we need stars.
Wow.
Cepeda, exactly, all of them. Now, with that being said, hitters are afraid to come to San Francisco because of Barry Bonds.
But what are they afraid of, Mike?
It's like Michael Jordan going to Chicago. You gotta have different cojones to deal with that mystique of Barry Bonds to players, not media, to fans and players, is one of the best baseball players people have ever seen. Whatever you want to take about Balco and all that extra stuff, I don't even care. He's one of the greatest baseball players we've ever seen. Also, the Niners, Warriors, and Curry happened. And then the letting go of Bochy and Larry Bear. People love Larry Bear. What he did in his personal life, things happen. Things happen all the time. So
wow.
One of the things that I feel is like Larry Bear and letting Bochy go. You try to help it out with bringing Dusty Baker back in some role, but, you know, it's lost upon the fans.
Mike, let me leave you. Oh, go ahead, Scott.
So you think Bonds has a shadow here that still lingers?
Yeah. Hitters are scared of Bonds. Pitchers were scared of Bonds, and hitters are scared to say, you know, especially left-handed hitters, why wouldn't you want to play at that ballpark if you're a left-handed power hitter? It's like the Big Green Monster, and it's not that far. But because Bonds was so great, because the wind swirl however they swirl, people are afraid to attack that.
Good stuff, Mike.
Oh, man.
Appreciate it, buddy.
I'm going to disagree with him on that one, Steiny. But that's kind of up your alley, too. You know, you say that about Steph.
I wonder.
So, and I'm going rap music because rap's a topic right now. So Snoop Dogg belongs to Death Row Records. Okay. Sold 1 million records. His career, it's over. I'm an upcoming rapper 20 years later, a couple decades later. I'm not going to be afraid to sign to Death Row because of how great Snoop was. I would almost take that as a compliment. You know what I mean? Like, nobody's signing you, Fillmore Mike, to be Barry Bonds. I feel like that would be a compliment, Steiny. But you've mentioned this with Jordan coming as a free agent after him and Steph Curry. Like, and maybe I'm not saying you guys are wrong. I look at it as a compliment.
I don't know. That's how I'll say what Philmo Mike's take, if you will, that Bonds' shadow is still here. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I don't know that he's right. I don't know that he's wrong. I know that that's interesting, and I'd never thought about it that way. But here's the other bottom line is when they won those 3 titles, their guys were homegrown. Yeah. They were homegrown.
Clay, Dre, and Steph.
They did not need to go out and get big name free agents because Posey was here and Crawford was here and Belt was here and Bumgarner was here and Lincecum was here and Kane was here. I mean, that was a big part of it. I mean, think about that for a sec. Like, there's nothing better than a homegrown star.
Oh, come on, man. It's nothing.
It's why Giannis in Milwaukee, it's why Steph out here, they just hold a little more weight than a free agent who goes to a place and turns it around. I mean, as loved as a guy like
Iguodala.
Yeah, I'm just thinking of guy like Giants fans. Like beggars can't be choosers. Even though we all would love a homegrown superstar to come up, they'll take a free agent star, obviously. But those have been tough to come by.
The last corner outfielder to hit 30 home runs, homegrown for the Giants. Want to hear it?
Sure.
Chili Davis. So just think about that.
Oh
the last homegrown outfielder to hit 30 home runs for the Giants. Steiny, I was in grade school.
I like Chili Davis.
I loved him. What a name.
888-957-9570. The San Francisco Giants were just swept in Philadelphia. They're 6 games under 500 right now. And to my way of thinking, they've lost a connection to their fans. And when you stack them up against the 49ers and against the Golden State Warriors, they pale in comparison. And when I think of that, I've got to go back and think about the way things were less than 10 years ago with this franchise. And the Giants ran this town.
Man.
They sold out that ballpark. They had young people involved. I mean, the best, and I'm going to use a term here from the past. I mean, the best singles bar in the Bay Area was Oracle.
Oh, excuse me. Yeah.
No, it was a stadium too.
Yeah. It was a social thing.
Well,
they're 11th in attendance, to be fair, Steiny, this year. So, you know what? They're not at the bottom.
No, but
it's bigger than that.
It's much bigger than that. It's much bigger than that. If you and you know, look at the Padres down south.
It's a party.
Watch
on TV.
Look at their attendance. They never come up short of 33,000.
And just added an all-star too.
So
that division not getting easier, man.
All right. 888-957-9570 is the number. And we're going to take some calls on the other side. But the question is out there.
It's a big one.
What has happened to the Giants in the last 8 years? How do you go from a team that ran the Bay to a team that's now not only the third team in a 3-team market? I know the Sharks are down in San Jose. But what's happened to the San Francisco Giants? If you were a fan of the San Francisco Giants and you're less of a fan now or not even a fan, like, what's happened? And then we can also get to, is there anything that can bring you back?
Now that is
there
what
anything that can bring you back?
Because I do wonder if the popularity of baseball has something, the lack of, Steiny, has something to do with this. That sounds like an excuse. It's not, but you didn't scoff at it when I threw it to you.